Hello, Michael Swain here after Kansas basketball's 86-67 win over Wichita State here at T-Mobile Center. Busy post-game, lots going on, so you're going to walk out with me. It's going to be an actual walk and talk this time instead of the stand and talk that it usually is. But this is about as good of a finale for non-conference play, I think, as KU could have asked for. They go into Big 12 play with some players that are playing with some momentum. And I think that's a huge positive for KU because this is a team that I think needs its complementary pieces to play well, to have a really good Big 12 season, because it's going to be so long, it's going to be grueling. I think you can look at some of the trips KU's going to take. They got to go to West Virginia. They've got to go to UCF in Florida. Their long trips are going to take some energy out of guys, and KU needs these extra players coming off the bench, being able to play and give good minutes. And I thought guys like Marco Jackson, Johnny Furphy, and Jamari McDowell did a really good job of that during this game against Wichita State. I think from the start, KU came out with good energy. I think the sharpness that a team could have coming off of a break like they did, it was a little bit lacking. You know, KU's shot making wasn't great. I thought the offense was okay. They were able to get some decent shots, and I thought generally, you know, they're also able to stop Wichita State, who were diabolical offensively at some points during the game. As it pertains to the starters, you know, Kevin McCullough is kind of doing this Jalen Wilson impression right now, where he is not shooting the ball at an efficient rate, but he's getting to the free throw line, and then at the end of the game, you look up and, my gosh, like, his stats are really, really good. So it's one of these deals with Kevin where I think this year there are going to be games when he shoots the ball efficiently and he scores a lot of points. There are going to be games when he doesn't do that and he scores a lot of points. I think at the end of the day, it matters, you know, the impact that he has on both ends. And there are going to be games where he'll coast. I think you saw it at times in this one where he kind of defensively maybe started to take his foot off the throttle a little bit. Understandable, though. And so I think you look at him, you know, he is what he is, and you're going to get some really good play from him. Hunter Dickinson found his shot again, and I think generally with Hunter Dickinson, he's going to give you a lot. And I think it's about efficiency with him, where he's going to play in crowds. Can he not turn the ball over? What are the other things he can do in those moments? And I think those are the big plays for him. So I think starters-wise, it was pretty good. Now, as I'm about to get out in the cold here, there's one guy I want to talk about, because I think over the course of this season, you're seeing the freshmen improve over time, right? Johnny Furphy's gotten better. Marco Jackson's gotten better. Jamari McDowell continues to play pretty good basketball. The one guy who isn't improving is Nick Timberlake. And it's the guy who's a veteran who's played college basketball for 4 years, maybe even 5 now. You know, it's baffling. His confidence is shot. He is not playing super well. And I think as a result, I don't know what his minutes are going to look like going forward, because it's not good enough. And KU needs him to space the floor. KU needs him to play well. And he's just not doing it right now. So that's a big concern for KU going into conference play, because we know freshmen are going to have times where they struggle. And you need a veteran guy that's been on college basketball for a while to be able to make shots. And he's just not. And so I'm fascinated to see what his role looks like going forward. But generally, I think a positive performance for KU. And one thing, going to conference play with some confidence. You know, I asked DeJuan post-game, do you feel like you're ready for conference play? Because we've seen it before, right? Bill Self has come out in these press conferences after a game like this and said, oh gosh, guys, we're not ready for conference play. And I thought DeJuan made a really good point where he cited off the non-conference games that they've had, and they basically had more or less like a third of a conference schedule already. So I think generally, you know, KU's prepared for conference play. It's going to come down to those extra pieces and how they do, because if those guys are playing well, Kevin McCullough doesn't have to play 38 minutes every single week, and that's a huge deal. So those are my thoughts. Not quite to the car yet, but that's where I'll wrap it up. Obviously, stay tuned to the website. Plenty of content coming your way this weekend. Got a week off, and I think that's going to be big for this team heading into conference play. So a lot to discuss on the website. Make sure you're staying tuned, and we will talk to you all later.